This is the Tesla Model S, and it is the best way to spend $75,000. And today, I'm going to show you why. I borrowed this Model S from our local Tesla dealer because our Model 3 Performance has quite the few issues. When I say few, I mean a lot of issues, and it's going to be a hard fix, and we basically stumped the Tesla service team. We have this car for the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Couple of weeks. I think this is the world's longest Tesla service appointment. Anyways, we have this Model S for the next couple of weeks, and today I thought I'll bring you a review about it. But before we review it and talk about its quirks and features, let's give you a backstory. The Tesla Model S was introduced back in 2012 by Elon Musk himself, and it was Tesla's second ever electric car, their first one being the Tesla Roadster based off a Lotus Elise. The Tesla Model S was designed to be a high-priced luxury sedan to rival with Audi, BMW, and Mercedes. To your surprise, Tesla succeeded, and the Model S is still here today. The Tesla have updated the Model S over a bunch of times, and this is a 2016 model, specifically a P90D Ludicrous model. Updated the Model S many times from 2012, and it's gotten a lot better over the couple of years. And this is a 2016 model, and it is still as great as today's model. Today's model, you can get three choices via the models. The first one starts out at $75,000 and you get 402 miles of range. The next one is the Performance that starts at $92,000 and that gets 350 miles of range. Finally, the brand new one that Tesla just introduced, the Plaid Model S, gets 520 miles of range, 1,100 horsepower, and starts at $130,000. If I had an income and $130,000, Tesla, take my money immediately. But today, I don't have a Plaid Model S or a long range or a Performance. Instead, I have a P90D Ludicrous model from 2016. And today, I'm going to go over its quirks and features to tell you why it is the best way to spend $75,000. And mainly why it's better than all the other electric car sedans, i.e. the Porsche Taycan and the Lucid Air, for example. Start out with the key fob. I have the key fob right here, and it basically just looks like a little toy car. And you might be thinking, oh, where are the buttons for this car key fob? Well, there are actually 3 buttons, and they're hidden. So there's the normal buttons. The top one, press twice, and it unlocks the car. Press once again, that unlocks it. Press the trunk twice, that opens up the rear hatch. And then press twice again, obviously. Press twice again, and it will auto close. And then hold down on the back trunk key fob again. The charge port door will open. Hold down again. And it will eventually close. Okay. Again, lock and unlock are the top 2 features. The top buttons, press again, once again, it'll unlock. And the front key here is for the front trunk. But this key fob doesn't just open the car. It also has some pretty cool features via the key. This car has a feature not on any other model Teslas called motion sensor unlocking. I have the key fob right here, and as I walk up to the car notices this and detects the key fob, and it unlocks the car for me. It does the exact opposite when I walk away from the car. Once I get a certain distance from the car, you can see, you have to get kind of far away and give it a second. It will lock the car. That is a really, really cool feature. Like if your key is stuck in your pocket, you can't get it, the car will automatically unlock. It's kind of like keyless entry today. To unlocking the car, you can see that the door handles are actually quite interesting. They pop out at you like some other cars today, like the Range Rover Velar. Now, I actually like these door handles. I think they are much better than the Model 3 or the Model X door handles because in a winter climate, for example, Massachusetts, it gets really snowy here, and instead of spraying de-ice and defrosting the car for 2 hours, i.e. Model 3, with our Model 3, we have to come out early in the morning if we want to leave with the car during a very cold and snowy day, spray ice melter all over the door cracks and heat up the car for about 2 hours, and then finally the doors unlock. The door handles get frozen in, unlike these where they just pop out with a motorized mechanism so you can easily pull to get in. It's a much better designed door handle than the Model 3. The reason why they go out and in is for aerodynamics. For example, when the car is driving, it can get a better, the wind can flow off of it better, and so it's more aerodynamic. When the car is unlocked, it's just a cool way, futuristic way of opening your door. But I think this is just such a cool feature, and it's on all 4 doors, obviously. But this is the best door handle on any car ever, and I think that other than all the other Teslas, this one, I think the Model 3 and the Model X should have had this door handle, but sadly, from the door handles to the inside of the car, where it gets a whole lot better than the outside. So stepping inside the car, you can see that the first thing you see is this giant, almost, I think it's like 17-inch, maybe, not 17, 15-inch maybe, touchscreen. It's about the size, like the biggest iPad Pro, I think, but it has a lot of tech features with this screen. Let's start off with this screen here. With all these controls. Now, what's really interesting about this car is you can configure everything. Every single little aspect of the car you can configure. For example, if I go into controls, if I want my vehicle to have a child protection lock or driver door unlock mode, so only the driver door unlocks, you can configure that. Navigation, if you want to avoid ferry tolls and HOV lanes, you can configure that. If you want for your lights to have your lights on auto, or all these settings, headlights after exit, you can configure that. It's every single little thing you can configure with this car, which makes this car such a configurable car and make it to your personal liking. Let's start off with the sunroof. So in a sunroof in a normal car, you go up here and you flick a little button and the sunroof whirs open. In this car, it's a lot more cool. You can see here, there is this big image of your exact car, gray on just like the outside of the car. If you see here to the sunroof, you pull back and the sunroof opens in real time. That is really cool. You can control the sunroof from here, or you can show it in percentages. So for example, if you want the sunroof 40% open, 41% open, you can configure on how wide or open you want it, which is just so cool. You can't really do that on a normal car. From the sunroof to the suspension. So the Model S comes standard with air suspension, which means the car is not on a shock spring, it's on air. So there's air that you can adjust the suspension with. For example, as I turn on the car here, which I'll get into in a minute, you can adjust the right height of the suspension. So for example, let's say you're going on a track day, you want the car lower, you can lower the car down, which is very interesting, so you can get better handling, obviously. Or if you don't want the car that low, and let's say there's snow, or like our driveway where it's very steep to get out of our driveway, you can raise the car all the way up, and you can take a look at the plant here. You can see we're kind of rising up off the ground. So now the car is 6.9 inches off the ground right now. And you can see that this car, it's kind of low, so it will get more clearance off the car. So let me just show you the outside of the car now. Look how high the car off the ground is. You can look at that gap over the wheels. This is mainly intended to get out of a driveway like this where it's really low, or if there's snow on the road, you need to get out of in snow, you can do that. Now, as we close the door here, we can adjust the suspension back down to standard, which is what we usually have it in. But it is so cool to have the car just go back down. I love this feature with the air suspension. It's so cool. Moving on to autopilot, we have Summon. I'll get to that later in the video. And yeah, this screen mainly controls every single aspect of the car. If you want to check your mileage, you click up there. This one is just around 50,000 miles. You can control your music, which this car has an amazing auto system. We'll get to that in a minute. Air conditioning, you have your heated seats, and this car actually has a middle heated seat, which is kind of interesting. As you can see, it has 5 heated seats, which is kind of interesting. The middle one's also heated, and the frost or stuff like that. But this car has an amazing audio system, which I will demonstrate to you right now with some non-copyright music. Ooh, here we go. I think for 2016, this audio system is very, very good. Very, very good. Very clear and very awesome to use with this car. Let's move on from this touchscreen to this screen. Now, this screen acts more like a speedometer. So now in the Model 3s, you have one center screen. But to be honest with you, I prefer, is it just me, or I prefer the Model S over the Model 3. Sure, the Model 3 is great, but the S is a lot better of a car. You have 2 separate screens, which is such a nice look. You have this screen which shows your music, and this is obviously configurable, obviously. You have this one that shows your music. You can have all these different configurations to really make it your car. Which gets me to another point. How do you start this car? I'll show you right now. Start the Model S. I'll show you. So, you step inside the car, and there you make sure you have to have the key fob inside the vehicle with you. Close the door, and all you have to do is push your foot down on the brake, and that shows you it's on. There you go, it's on. I can shift into reverse if I wanted to with the backup camera, put it in park, put it in neutral. I can literally do whatever I want. And that's how you start this car, which is really cool. Moving on from starting this car to all the stock. Another interesting kind of quirk, all the stocks. You have this stock, which controls the steering wheel, which is kind of interesting. Press restore it. You have this stock, which is for the autopilot, which is kind of interesting. This stock, which is for turn signals and for wipers. And then this stock, which is for reverse, neutral, park, drive, which is kind of interesting. On the steering wheel, there are also a lot of buttons. You have a physical volume and like skip knob, and then you have all of the volume controls right here as well, which is also just kind of interesting. Move back to the music here. And let's move on from the inside of this car to the seats. Back in 2016, these were Tesla's next generation seats. Obviously, the seats now are made out of Nappa leather, but these are made out of leather. To be honest with you, I actually like these seats, but the Model 3 seats are a little bit comfortable because of the Nappa, not Nappa leather, vegan leather. But yeah, I really, really do love these seats. They are really comfortable, and they're really well bolstered as well, and just the material fit and finish in this car is just so nice. You have leather, wood, even more Alcantara, leather all over the door, Alcantara on the roof. It's such a nice, well put together car. Then the Model 3 is nice, but again, the Model S is a lot more premium materials. Let's move on down to the center console of the Model S, where this is a 2016 model, and two interesting quirks. One, this space looks kind of interesting. There is a technical center console for this car. It's just all this space. My mom stores her purse down here, which is kind of interesting. It's just a lot of empty space with some USB ports and an auxiliary port and stuff like that. Another interesting quirk is the cup holders. They're so far back. So here I have a small bottle. Here you're driving along in your Model S, and you have to reach back almost. There are only 2 cup holders in this car. Yeah, that's right, 2. There are none in the back, and only 2 in the front. The lack of cup holders is just insane. On the new Model S's, that's fixed. They have cup holders in here and cup holders in the back, but very interesting. I don't know. I wonder how in 2016 you can manage with this. These slide forward and back, but very, very strange. I gotta tell you. Nice with the Model S is that there's an actual physical door handle than a button, because you don't know how many times I tell you. I have to tell people, oh, it's a button, not an actual handle. Anyways, let's move on to the back seat. So I am I'm not 6 feet. I am pretty small. So I am 5'3", and this is where my mom would sit. Unlike the Model 3 where my knees are in my chest, like in the Model 3, I'm sitting like this. Like, it's so small in the back. But in this car, I have plenty of room. The floor is just the right angle. I feel quite fine in the back, obviously. It's quite nice, very, very comfy, much more comfortable, miles more comfortable than the Model 3. Definitely, for me at least. And moving on over here, this is where I would sit, and I have plenty of room just behind me as well, so I'm comfortable here as well. But I just love the Model S back seat. Such a better back seat, or such a more better back seat than the Model 3s or a Taycan or a Lucid. I have to say, best back seat of all Teslas. Something else that you don't get on a Model 3, and that is the electric tailgate. That's right. Push a button, the tailgate opens automatically. Why doesn't the Model 3 have this? It's such a useful feature. You just press a button. The Model 3 tailgate is very heavy, but as you can see, lots of room in the Model S. I love the trunk space in this car. The Model 3 trunk space, it's actually great for its size. Oop, I gotta put that back. But lots of room and lots of cubbies and storage spaces back here. But Model S, its trunk is very, very, very good. Miles better than the Model 3. Wish we had as well is an electric closing tailgate. Again, I know the Model 3 doesn't have it. I know you can install it aftermarket. Do I really want to? No. So we're going to move on from that. Let's move on to the storage spaces in the front trunk. You have the key fob here. Press twice and you open the front trunk. Now it's actually kind of interesting, and this is actually a plus for the Model 3. I think the Model 3's front trunk's actually a little bit bigger. I mean, today we got, I think, just a couple rolls of paper towels in here when we went to the market this morning, and literally that's all we got in here. Like, this trunk space, I think, is maybe they're around the exact same size or maybe a little bit bigger, but the trunk space up here, very, 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 very small, but kind of interesting. But I think the new ones are a little bit bigger. But yeah, I think the Model 3's, it's just a little bit better. Here's on this car. This car comes with a 21-inch wheels. I love these wheels on this car, if you're wondering. And it comes standard from the factory with Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires on it. What other car comes with these tires that are usually on a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, or an Audi R8, or a McLaren on them? I love these tires, and I love the look of these wheels as well. They just set the car off so good. Now let's get into something that I've been waiting all this video for. Tesla Summon. You've all heard about it, hopefully, and it is a very, very cool feature that I'm going to be showing you now, and that's what makes this car different from a Porsche Taycan Turbo or a Lucid Air. Let me show you what this feature does. So let's set the mood here, and let's set the scenario here, okay? So you parked your car at the shopping center, and you notice that two idiots, probably in BMWs, are parked next to you, like right up against you. You can't get in your car. One car there, and a car right here. And you don't want to go up like this, because when you eventually open your door, you can't get in. So, what do? Well, you bring out your key fob, and I want to show you beforehand, no one's in the driver's seat, okay? You probably know what this is going. You hold down on your key fob, car turns on, press the rear trunk button, and the car suddenly starts reversing all by itself out of the parking space. No one is driving. The car's doing this all by itself. Now, let's say you got out of your parking space and you want to stop the car, so all you have to do, press the top button, car stopped. Now, right? Now let's set another scenario. So you just got back home and you have a tight garage. So you turn the car back on again, press to go forward, and this time the Tesla drives back in all by itself with no one driving. Take a look at that. No one's in the driver's seat. Car's going in all by itself. There you guys go. The car moved forward and moved backward all by itself with no one driving. And that is what Tesla Summon is, which I have to say is a very good feature, and I'm worth every penny. if you like this feature, I guess. All the quirks and features of the Tesla Model S. To me, if we were going to buy another Tesla again, which I probably wouldn't, I would want to buy the Model S. It's great. It's much cheaper than its competitors of the Lucid Air and Porsche Taycan Turbo, and it's a lot cooler of a looking car, and it's made for the other climates. Do I really wish that the Model 3 came with the door handles, a heated steering wheel, and a couple other features? Yes, but the Model 3 is such a good, cool car as well, but the Model S is just that much better. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If it did, smash that like button. I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what cars to do next, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.